What I like about writing is that I love words. I love word origins. I love, one of the things that Herb Sargent and I bonded with were words. How did certain expressions come about, and the order that you can put words in to convey a humor or sadness or whatever mood that you want. One of my heroes, who I ultimately spent time with, was Larry Gelbart. I had written a book called Clothing Optional, which was a collection of my published short stories and essays. And I asked him for a blurb, and I only had met him once or twice, and so I excused myself, my my audacity, and he asked for 6 or 8 of the essays, and I sent them, and he wrote me this wonderful blurb, and then I took him to lunch as a repayment the next time I was out in L.A., and I spent 3 hours with him, and I was like a young kid with Mickey Mantle, I felt exact. And what Larry Gelbart had was something I think every writer should aspire to have, is, when Adolph Green, the great composer with Betty Comden, they wrote all those shows, right? When he died, Larry Gelbart sent a note to Adolph's now widow, Phyllis Newman. And the note was, that noise you hear is God breaking the mold. Which to me was poetry. This is the way the man spoke. This is the way he wrote. And my friend Buck Henry is that way too, where there's an inherent wit in it. I don't claim to have their level of wit, but what I do like to do is I love the process of taking words and trying to put them in an order where you make a person laugh or whatever you want to. It's also, there's an omnipotence that a writer has, because you create characters, you create a world, and you populate them with these characters, and they behave and say what you want them to. And there's a feeling, the greatest part is that when you're successful, if on page, whether it's 4 or 20, where those characters tell you what they want to do, what they want to say. Even if you had preconceived he would do this, by that page you go, no, he wouldn't do that. He's telling me he wants to do that. And so I find it a fascinating thing, because I find it surprising, It's tedious, especially when you do it alone. And that's why some of the books that I've written lately, I've collaborated with Dave Barry, because there are certain things you must write by yourself. But if you get the opportunity to collaborate, that's why I wrote a novel with Dave Barry. I just wrote a parody of the Passover Haggadah with Dave Barry and another guy named Adam Mansbach, who a few years ago had written a children's book that sold a gazillion copies. Children's book, the title was Go to Fuck to Sleep, okay? And, once again, the process in television is collaborative, and it's a group. I miss that, so whenever I get the opportunity to do it, I do it. But when I'm doing stuff by myself, it becomes, okay, what are we trying to say today? How can we say it? And it's grueling. I wake up 5:30 every morning. If I have a great day, by noon, oh my God, 6.5 hours, you kidding? I'm spent, okay? But now it's noon, and I'm in New Jersey. What am I going to do with myself? But there are some days by 8 o'clock, you go, I don't have it today, So I find myself intrigued by it, and also try to keep myself. I may have said it last time, forgive me if I did. There was, years ago, before I got married to Robin, did I tell you about the Neil Simon piece that was in the arts and leisure section of the Sunday Times.
No, no.
This is late 70s, right before I got married to Robin, right before we got engaged. We got married in 1979, so it was around then. Neil Simon had written a piece for the arts and leisure section of the Sunday Times, and this piece later became a preface for one of his anthologies, where he describes the comedy writer as a two-headed monster. One head is here talking to you, and then this head will get his car and drive, and maybe go to an ATM and have Thanksgiving, and go to a dentist and stuff. But there's another head that all of a sudden, without provocation or announcement, will emerge and be up here, hover, and make fun of the life that this head is living. And that's where the comedy comes from, is the editorializing, however it's done, of this guy's life by this guy. And I remember before we got married, I had Robin read that because I said, this is what you're going to be living with. So it's not unusual where she'll come home and I'm on a couch like this in a living room, and she's coming in with God knows what from Costco. And she sees me there. She goes, can you help me? I'm going, can't you see I'm working? It looks like I'm asleep, I'm working. Don't bother me with that big toilet paper thing. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, but I like it.